And Tony, let's begin with news about the former Ukrainian Prime Minister Yulia Tymoshenko, who's told a court in Kiev she is innocent of the corruption charges she's facing. While delivering her final speech, she accused President Viktor Yanukovych of orchestrating what she called her lynching in order to get rid of her as a political opponent. Well, prosecutors claim Tymoshenko violated legal procedures when she signed a natural gas contract with Russia in 2009. Well, Al Jazeera's Neave Barker has been monitoring events from our bureau over in Moscow. So, Neave, explain a little bit more about what happened in court today.
Well, Felicity, we are, of course, reaching the end of this very lengthy trial against Tymoshenko. A verdict is expected time soon, possibly by the end of the week, although her lawyers suggest that it could be early next week. Tymoshenko addressed the court for perhaps the last time. She addressed the court standing, as opposed to previous hearings in which she's insisted on sitting down. She said that she does not respect the authority of the court. In this final speech, she said to the people of Ukraine and her supporters, she reiterated her innocence. She said that she was not guilty of the charges of abusing her position of Prime Minister in reaching an agreement with Russia to end the gas crisis at the beginning of 2009. She said that the case was highly politicized and that a verdict had already been decided right at the beginning of the trial. She also criticized the fact that television cameras were no longer allowed into the courtroom itself. She said that clear indicator that a verdict had already been reached. She described the entire proceedings as a farce. As far as she is concerned, we have heard through her lawyers that she is somewhat preparing for a full sentence of 7 years. But as I said, we're still waiting for that verdict sometime in the next few days.
Yeah, Neave, she says it's a very political trial. She says it's all about getting her barred from standing for office in the future. Is that true, do you think? Is there any truth in that?
Well, she insists that she's been deliberately targeted because she is the only key opponent, the only formidable opponent of the Ukrainian President Yanukovych. She feels that the case against her is deliberately designed to eradicate her from the Ukrainian political landscape in its entirety. But we don't yet know what the absolute verdict will be. Yanukovych is currently in Warsaw attending an EU summit. He's in the presence of some of his biggest critics within the EU who have been highly critical of this case against Yulia Tymoshenko. It's unclear yet whether a verdict against her will be made, while Yanukovych essentially knows that key deals with Europe could be lost over this whole issue. Still, at the same time, he doesn't want to lose face at home in Ukraine. Some analysts have suggested, and this may be a little bit early, but these suggestions have been made, that Tymoshenko could well be sentenced and then later released, essentially eliminating her from ever being able to stand in politics in the future. But all is resting on the verdicts.
Yeah, we await that verdict with interest. Neave Barker, live in Moscow. Thanks, Neave.